Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and something absolutely ludicrous for you today. This is called Squished Donut, and it's by the Pedaling Pianist, and it is described as being a toroidal Sudoku. Don't turn the video off. Don't turn the video off. I have read the rules. They are absolutely bonkers. Apparently the Pedaling Pianist constructed this despite being sleep deprived. The Pedaling Pianist has a new baby in the house, little Orla, his mad brain came up with this in the course of an hour, apparently, according to Logic Masters Germany. I have no clue whatsoever what goes on in a person's mind that they come up with a puzzle like this in an hour. You'll see what I mean when I read the rules. But the reason I'm doing this today is that actually it is a very special day in the Pedaling Pianist's family, because the Pedaling Pianist's parents, Naomi and Stephen, are celebrating their 37th wedding anniversary today. I think that's right. I hope I haven't messed up the day or the date. And Stuart, that's the real name of the Pedaling Pianist, wanted to say congratulations from him, from Patrick, I think that's Stuart's brother, from Alana, Todd the cat, and also baby Orla, Naomi and Stephen, who apparently adores you both. So now I will tell you that the Pedaling Pianist created a special anniversary puzzle, which I gather he's presenting to the family, presumably now. But the testers thought that puzzle is one that Mark should do. So I was sort of left at a loss in terms of Pedaling Pianist puzzles, but not really a loss. We get so many recommendations for your puzzles that I simply picked one of the most recent ones, and it was this one. So that's why I'm doing one of your puzzles. It's going to be a double Pedaling Pianist day on the channel today, and there is nothing wrong with that. Now, in fact, let me just show you. I just snipped some of the comments. Let me show you some of these comments. Viking Prime. The truly mind-bending part of this puzzle is how utterly approachable it turned out to be. Incredible. I'm not sure I believe that, having read the rules, actually. I think it might be approachable if you're also blessed with a genius mind, which Viking Prime is. So we shall see. Vitamins. And I did a vitamins puzzle earlier this week. This is a lovely little trick. And the solution code is Chef's Kiss. I don't know what that is. Blackjack Fits. This is unbelievably good. Really enjoyed that. Could arguably be a 1-star difficulty, but not with that rule set. Ha ha. This is exactly what I've come to expect and adore about the Pedaling Pianist's puzzles. And Marty Sears. That was amazing. Yeah, so standing ovation from Marty Sears. So yeah, this is going to be super. I'm so looking forward to having a go at it. But I've got a couple of things I wanted to mention before we kick off. I'm going to start now. You may have known that a few days ago I talked about the fact that Mark and I are doing a live episode of Cracking the Cryptic at the Stratford upon Avon Literary Festival, coming up on the 27th of October. Now, I stopped talking about that because I thought we had sold out the venue, which apparently we had, but they've now moved us into a bigger venue. So there are more tickets available, and I thought I'd just, if you look, I don't know if this will work, but I'll try and show you. Should be in roughly the right position. So this is it. And yeah, there aren't loads more tickets, by the way, but there are a few. So if you have any interest and you think you might like to meet us in person, we would certainly like to meet anybody who follows the channel. And I think there's going to be time. I think the idea is we're going to solve a puzzle and then have a Q&A and hopefully have a chance to meet some people. So that would be, it would be lovely to see anybody who can make it. Oh, and I wanted to say a couple of words as well about the competition we've got coming up on the 1st of October. On the 1st of October, we have a new paint by numbers. Yeah, I mean, that's right. You are the Paint by Numbers Institute, aren't you? You do, that is what you call yourselves. Panthera, the Asylum, and SM Marcus 100. I think it is. So, but look, I've got a picture to show you. Here we go. Caroline's Halloween Adventure. So, I mean, the Paint by Numbers Institute, they construct these puzzles that create pictures in the Sudoku grid. Very popular, quite approachable actually. Next month's hunt is. So it starts on the 1st of October, 4 PM UK time. And all of you should be able to finish it, definitely. And it's about Caroline's adventures to find her brothers, Adam and Joseph, if I remember rightly. I hope I've got that right, Panthera. Anyway, that's coming up, as I say, start of next month. So if you're interested, check out Patreon. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. But now, now get ready. Make sure you've got cold towels around your heads, because this rule set, that there's one line in this rule set that is just so utterly bonkers. But anyway, I'm going to read it to you. What has the pedaling pianist been constructing? Toroidal Squishdoku. Fill every cell with a digit from 1 to 8, such that digits do not repeat in a row, column, or 4x2 box. Now, I'm just going to carry on reading the rules. I don't even know really how to show you that. I can see one 4x2 box. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. That's very difficult. Right, so hang on. Let me just try. I hadn't realised I was not going to be able to... Okay, so can you see in this green area, in the middle of the green area I've just drawn, there is what looks like a 4x2 box in the loosest sense. Well, I think that box has to contain the digits 1 to 8, if I understand the rules correctly. But I can't highlight the cells in this today because it's Squishdoku. Anyway, let me carry on reading the rules. There are 8 boxes which overlap at dashed lines, and some boxes wrap around the grid, which is a torus. For example, this is the bit that's mad, row 1, column 6, that cell, and row 4, column 2, that cell, share a box. So these can't be the same digit because they are in the same box. And I sort of understand that. But this is actually extremely hard to explain. What you have to do, look where the cursor's moving. Can you see the cursor's moving sort of in the top right hand side of the grid where I'm moving it there? So that's like 2 cells of an 8-cell box. This, where the cursor's moving now in the bottom right of the grid, is another 2 cells. This frames another 2 cells in that box because the grid is a torus and wraps around like a donut. Well, that's why it's called squish donut. So you sort of can pop off the top of the grid and come on the bottom of the grid. And then if you pop off the right hand side of the grid, you can pop on the left hand side of the grid. So where I'm moving the cursor now, the cells sort of north and west of where I'm moving the cursor are in the same region as this part over here. And the same is true of this ludicrous area in the bottom, in the southwest corner. These, well, it's not, it's the bottom parts of these cells are in the same region as the top right part of those cells. I mean, actually, it's occurring to me as we're doing the rules, it must be very difficult to even... I was wondering how you set this up in the software, but presumably there's some sort of graphical way of doing it. I certainly don't have a clue how you'd create this grid in the software. But anyway, there's only 2 more rules, thank goodness. Dutch whispers. Adjacent digits on an orange line, there is only one orange line, must differ by at least 4. So those 2 squares, so if that square was a 1, that square would have to be 5, 6, 7 or 8 in order to be at least 4 different from 1. And V, digits separated by a V must sum to 5. So those 2 digits sum to 5. I'm not going to get used to this, you know. As I highlighted that, I wanted it to not be highlighting the 2 things it did highlight, and those 2 cells sum to 5. I mean, good luck. How can this... What does that 1 star, someone said? Blackjack, this could arguably be 1 star. Apparently, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I have to say, my brain is shying away from the toroidal nonsenses here. But when I think about the orange line, not in relation to the nonsenses, but in relation to this requirement that digits differ by at least 4, that is more interesting than Dutch whispers typically are. Because normally in a normal 9x9 Sudoku, a Dutch whisper is a horrible beast to deal with. And that is because the alternation along a Dutch whispers line is not as clear as it is along a German whispers line. What do I mean by that? Well, along a Dutch whispers line, you can have this sequence that would go 1, 5, 9. So you don't get a strict alternation in the highness and lowness of the line. Whereas on a 1 to 8, in a 1 to 8 grid, you do, don't you? Because there is no central digit that can be 4 away, if you like. So what I'm wibbling here, but let me try and explain. If this square was a 1, then this square would be 5, 6, 7, or 8, because it has to be 4 different. But now this digit, what's this going to be? And this is going to be from the set of digits 1, 2, 3, and 4, because even if this is an 8, and it only moves by 4, there's a motorbike today, not a Maverick, it would, if this was 8 and only dropped by 4, which is the minimum it could drop by, it would still dip down, if you like, below the centre. 1, 2, 3, 4, cut, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the next digit, even if this was a 1 and it only increased by 4, which is the minimum, would be the other side of that cut between the numbers 4 and 5. So what that means is that in this puzzle, this whispers line is alternating between high and low polarity. Which might mean we're meant to highlight it. We probably are, aren't we? So those digits there, we'll give those a colour. Oh, quite an offensive colour against the orange background, and we'll give those a colour. So I think green is either low digits or high digits, and purple will be the opposite. Okay, my next thought about this, I was suddenly thinking, how does this puzzle have a unique solution? Because it's a torus, isn't it symmetrical in a sort of weird way? I think the only place it's not symmetrical is because this doesn't join up. Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know. That's very weird indeed. Now, okay, the next thing I'm seeing here is peculiar. Right, this V at the bottom of the grid. How am I going to explain this? Well, hopefully it's clear. It's not. There are 2 ways of constructing a V domino in Sudoku. 2 cells add up to 5, so they're either 1 and 4 or they're 2 and 3. Now, let's just imagine for a moment this is 1 and 4. My question is this 1 and 4 as well? Or must this be 2 and 3? And the answer is it must be 2 and 3, because remember, when we were doing the example, we noted that the very southeast of the grid, these 2 cells, sort of the southeast portion of those 2 cells, they are in the same region as this, the northwest portion of these 2 cells. So this and this are different. So what we need, I think, there's going to be some cell in the grid, some cell in the whispers thing that sees all 4 of these digits, is what I now think. Because if there is such, so say, I can't see immediately which one it is, but say it's that one. I don't think it is that one. But say that cell saw all 4 of those digits. Because all 4 of these digits are different, then this would be forced to be high. And once it's forced to be high, these are forced to be high, aren't they? So all we've got to do is somehow spot the cell that those digits all see. They're all low digits. I'm going to make them blue, because blue is more associated with coldness and lowness than hot digits, which are typically orange. These are things that I've been taught over the years on this channel. These are different, so maybe I need another colour to indicate these are different. Oh golly gosh, I don't know. What on earth am I meant to do now? Okay, all right. So let's complete let's complete these dominoes, because the region that is at the extreme parts of this torus, the 8-cell region, now has 1, 2, 3, and 4 in it. So these squares have got to be 5, 6, 7, and 8, and therefore they're orange digits. This is quite funny in a way, isn't it? It's so ludicrous. So it's still not very clear at all to me what this means. The weird thing about these toroidal squishy, or not the toroidal necessarily, but the squishy puzzles, is that when you look along a row, for example, here, it doesn't have to contain all the digits, because there are only 6 cells to put digits into. So the squishy nature changes all the geometry, or it almost changes the principles that apply in the Sudoku. I mean, obviously it's true that these digits all have to be different, but because they don't have to be inclusive of all the digits 1 to 8, it feels much harder to get a grip on. So golly gosh, I'm not sure actually. I'm actually not sure that this pattern is helping me to see what's going on, so I'm going to delete it if you don't mind. We'll remember. If we find the key cell, we'll remember we have to oscillate along this. What is it then? So is it something to do with... See, I don't think it is. I was trying to see whether I could do something with the region that is just north of the bottom right toroidal region. So that this, see, I can't even highlight it. Sort of the part of row 3 that's not. Oh god, I can't. I just can't highlight it. But this region that goes. Actually, maybe I can do it with lines. Oh no, I can't do it at all. Oh, that nearly is. This region is the one I was thinking about. That one. That is a way of doing it. So that's all a region. It's got 2 highs and 2 lows in it. So it needs 2 more lows and 2 more highs. And obviously we know, I say obviously, I'm not sure there's much obvious about this puzzle, that the 2 lows and 2 highs that have to be down here in this region are these ones. But so this is confusing me. So that digit, or maybe that digit, is somewhere in here. So it has already made an appearance in there. I was trying to focus on that digit. I'm just trying to think about where it goes as it moves around the grid. Now, I can see that I've got to put it in... I see, this is a good way of doing it. I've got to put it in that box. Now, it can't go in the top of that box because it then would repeat in row 1. So it must either be here, which can't be there because it would repeat in that top left box actually, or this box here. It would repeat in that one, so it's not there. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here. So it's in one of those 3 places. Which means it has made an appearance in this box already. But, so it's in this box, but then it needs to make an appearance in this box. Oh, see, I can't do it. It's very difficult to do this. That box. It's got to be in that box. It's got to be in that box. Yeah. Oh, nearly. That's nearly quite interesting. It's got to be in that. Oh, or is it? I'm not sure now. It has got to be in this purple box. But it's got to be in that purple box in such a position. If it was in this, it can't be in that square, because then it would be in this box twice. If it was in that square, hang on. So where does it go in this purple box then? It can't go in any of these positions, can it? It just isn't allowed to. And we know it's not this cell, and we know it's not this cell. So it must be in one of these 2 positions. That's truly strange. So that green digit there goes in either this position or this position. But surely that logic applies equally well to that cell, because it's totally symmetrical. So actually, this digit and this digit are down here. Now, okay, and then by symmetry, this digit and this digit are up here. And all of that is very interesting, but is it actually helping me at all to solve the puzzle? And the answer to that is, I don't know. I don't know whether it is or not. Maybe I do need to think again about the polarity across the whisper line. Try and get a handle on that. Oh, I'm not sure. I am not sure. But also, I still haven't managed to get a grip on where this digit goes in the red region. I think I know it's not here. Hang on. Okay, let's go back to the green digit. So the green digit what I worked out was it must appear... Yeah, it must appear in the green region. We said it was in one of these three, didn't we? Then we've seen it's appeared already in the blue region, so it doesn't reappear in the blue region again. And we worked out that the result of that was green, it appears in one of these squares in row, I'll call it row 4. I mean, I don't know what row it is. But we know it has to appear in the red region, and it still hasn't managed to do that. Now, it can't appear... Ah, this is fascinating. I see. Yeah, I know where it goes in row 3. Because it can't go in its own column. It can't go here because it would be then in the blue region twice. These lines are really helpful, actually. It can't be here because it would be in the blue region twice. So in order to appear at all in the red region, the only cell it can be in is that, and that is blue, and it's specifically that square. But by symmetry, this is really important, surely, because by symmetry, this square, now, which I'll make purple, must similarly be there. And by symmetry, because I've not used the whisper at all to do this logic, all I've done is say that, these have to appear in certain regions. That square must be here. Whoops. And this square must be here. Now let's get rid of this and think again. Because surely, well, I don't know whether that's going to... Well, it must be useful in some way. I just don't know what that way is yet. I feel like it is... Oh, yeah, I mean, like, one of these now has to be blue-yellow. That's easier to see, isn't it? I think that's something we proved. One of these had to be blue-green before. But now it's very clear. If you look up here at the green box, it hasn't got blue-yellow in it, and blue-yellow can't be in any of those squares. So blue-yellow is in one of these two squares. Yeah, what we really need... So is there an equivalent that we can apply to this digit, is the question, isn't it? Because if that propagates somehow round the grid, then we can propagate this one, and this one as well. So let's focus on blue-red. Now, blue-red has made an appearance in the green box. But blue-red needs to make an appearance, so it's made the appearance here. So it cannot go in any other cell that overlaps with the green box. Yet it must appear, mustn't it, in the blue box down here. So it can't be in its own... let's use red. It can't be in its own column. So it's either here, here, or here, for sure. Yeah. And now, where does it go in the red box? Now, it's a bit difficult to still see the red box because I've been drawing over it. But you can see the red box is this one. It has not got blue-red in it. That's a much simpler question, in fact. Just ask that question. Where does that go in the red box? It must be in it because all 8 digits are in the red box. And the only place it can go is there. So that is blue-red, and that means that we can that logic propagates by symmetry. So now, now I'm going to run out of colours, aren't I? I am going to run out of colours. Okay, so what we'll do, well, that digit I can deal with. That can go there. But now I'm going to undo blue entirely. That frees up blue. So now I'm going to make that blue, and that now is that digit by symmetry. And then if I undo orange, then this digit can be orange, and that must go there. And that digit is 5, 6, 7, or 8. And, oh, I see. Oh, that's gorgeous. Right. So now I've got the polarity of the whisper line. Because, look, that's a low digit on it. So this is a high digit. Yes, it's oscillating as well, which is exactly what we'd expect. I think there was probably a much simpler way of understanding this, but I have understood it in my own way, and that is the nature of these videos. So now, presumably the big game in town is trying to colour these things in. So this digit, which is low, yeah, I can do that. That's a low digit that's not black because it's already in the green region, and it's not green or red, so it's my other colour, which is yellow for low digits. So presumably I can pull that trick here. That's not red because it's already in the red, it's already in the purple region. So this is green. Now what about that one? That one sees orange in its region, so it's the third colour. It's grey, I think. I think it sees all the other high digits. And this one, by symmetry, that sees blue. Blue is already in the purple lined region. So that digit is purple, then. It's that one. Now I've only got to do these middle squares. So, all right. Well, that digit's interesting because that has to be a high digit. It sees yellow in the column, black in the purple outlined region, and red and green in its row. So it's high, and it's not orange, and it's not purple or blue. So it's grey. Okay. Now that must work for this digit, mustn't it? Unless I've gone completely doolally. That digit sees all the low digits, so that is also high. And it sees grey. It sees blue in its box, so it is purple. Doesn't see purple in the highs. Now what about that one? That sees all the high digits, so unsurprisingly that's low. Let's check this one. That sees... Does that see all the high? Yes, that definitely sees all the high digits. So all we've got to do is colour these two in now, and then we should be able to do something. So this is not yellow or red or black, so it's green. Yeah, that's right. It's in the same region there, in that middle box. And that one is now in the same region as green, black, red, so it's yellow. So I've actually got 4 yellows in the grid. Is that feels... I've only got 2 reds in the grid. I've got 4 yellows, 2 black digits, 4 greens. So you get a very weird number of everything. Okay, but I have not... No, I haven't used the whisper for anything yet. So, how do we use the whisper? The whisper... Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Look at the whisper. Certainly look at the high digits on the whisper. Oh, or the low digits. Oh, that's beautiful. How you do this, I do not know. How do you have the idea to do this? It's just genius. We are in the presence of genius. Pedaling Pianist, I don't know how you do this. Okay, but look, these are all different, and the low digits on the orange line are all different. Now, therefore, we need to think in the same sort of paradigm we do with German whispers lines. Now, one of these digits on this whisper is therefore a 4. One of the digits on the whisper is a 5. What digit could we put next to a 4 on this orange line? Well, we need a digit that's 4 away from 4, don't we? At least. And there's only one digit, which is 8. So imagine we did put 4 in the middle of the line. That would automatically cause 2 8s on the line and imply 2 of these colours with the same digit. And that is something we've expressly proved is not the case. So actually, what we must do is to hide the 4 and the 5 in these two squares. So they only have one neighbour on the line. So this is a 5, and this is a 4. And now yellow is 4, grey is 5. The 5 must be next to a 1. The 4 must be next to an 8. And therefore, yeah, okay, and it's again, it's similar to normal whispers. So let's think about the digit 3 along this whisper. We know it appears somewhere. What are its neighbours? Well, its neighbours are going to have to be the digits that are 4 away from 3 at least. There's only 2, and those digits are 8 and 7. Well, so along this line, which we know contains an 8 in one position, which is that one, that must be next to the 3. So red is 3, which must be next to 7 in the form of purple, which we haven't put 2 in the grid, and that should be 6. And that is the solution, I think. Boom. Wow. Wow. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. That is... that... I mean, again, I am just lost in admiration for the setting of that. It's a beautiful puzzle. It's a beautiful puzzle. It's just a torus with an orange ring in it. Uniquely so. Oh, I suppose there's 2 V's in it as well. But what did you do? Did you sort of draw it out on paper or then try and... Because I can now see, having solved it, that you can map the digits, which is fascinating. Because in mapping the... Yeah, by putting a bit of pressure, you can force the patterns. Ah, sick. I'm beginning to glimpse at how you could come up with it. But I don't know how you do it in a vacuum. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.